Yeah, we are live now.
Okay. I think one of the things we need to discuss is this process. First, the process, how we will do this.
Okay.
So I just started writing the progress plan. If you can have a quick look, I pasted on the Hangout chat as well. Let's discuss on this like solid steps so that
Okay. Call for workshops, ideas, and tutors. Selection of workshops. Selection of people. So the ideas is the manifesto that you were talking about?
No, the manifesto is what we will propose, and according to this manifesto, people will come with some workshop ideas. So it's too much.
Oh, I see.
So it is like we talked before, it's like the Media Lab Prado way of doing things. You propose a digital framework and people come with ideas to make workshops in relation with that general manifesto thing.
Okay. So the workshop would take place before the triennale?
Yes, because I think the workshops, they will kind of propose, they will generate the project briefs for the call for projects for the architects. So we will have these ideas workshops, which is more participatory and more like open to other disciplines. And then out of these ideas, we will try to kind of match them with some spaces. It might be some spaces in Oslo or some other places, I don't know. And then after that, we will call for projects. And then we will select the projects. And then it should be interesting if we can kind of do a public programming of the selected projects in their locations, and then get a final version of all these projects that are going to be exhibited.
Okay. It seems like a lot of steps. Let's see how. Okay, call for ideas and tutors. Selection of workshops. Call for participants to workshops.
It is kind of, but it is, I think also, these too many steps is also good because this all opening up the process is kind of our also the research.
Of course, yeah. It's about how to make. I mean, in a way, we're proposing an unusual and particular way of doing a triennale, which is kind of like opening more the curricular process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
What I'm not sure is that, well, we were almost talking about it yesterday. No, it's a good idea to have to propose a workshop in between, no, because it's like we are proposing 2 events, no. So we have the other idea of digital virtual workshop, you know, that call for ideas, rules, online, to do it online, and to have and because maybe it's a city-wise, more a city-wise way, you know, mixing digital and face-to-face way of doing.
I think it would be good to have some kind of physical workshop, even though they have some digital connection, but relying on everything on the digital before the triennale might be too much.
Yes, but okay, but I'm thinking that we are proposing to Oslo, to triennale, the 2 events, and maybe it's not because we need a place, a financial, no, funding for that week or days in Oslo is kind of another event, and also I'm thinking that we need a lot of strength to get it good enough, no? And I'm not sure. It's really that we are getting another challenge. No, it's a huge challenge to have kind of a first event, a first triennial, the triennial before the triennial. I think it's a really a huge challenge.
Yeah, but I think the strength of all these things is just the network, and I think we have a good network, so I think we can go up for this kind of challenge.
I mean, in a way, will be mainly with. I guess that the workshop could be mainly for engaging locals, because in a way, what
locals?
Yeah, local people in Oslo.
Okay.
Because if the first time we arrive is in the Triennale, we will be proposing kind of like new rules, new forms of democracy, without having talked to local people there. So I think that the first workshop should be mainly with local people in Oslo. I mean, and then also connected to the global network through an online platform, but maybe it can be more like an engagement event with local people in Oslo that help to produce the brief. I would put it like that in a way. So it's kind of like
I put it the other way around because the rules are more global.
Uh-huh.
The second time after the projects are selected with the locations in Oslo, then we have this kind of prototyping of all the people representing their selected projects in their own locations. So we put the rules in a global way, and then when they are applied in the local way, we try to make this engagement with the local. It goes from the global level to the local, actually, in what I wrote. But if you say we need to move from the local to the global level, I'm not sure. Then we should propose rules, because rules, I find it more, I don't know, rules is more global for me.
Yes, no, I think that we must keep our first path, no? Bringing global intelligence to local action, no? I think that's the...
I think, but we lost
idea. Sorry?
We lost Pablo.
Yes.
Do you think this is too much, all these processes?
No, it's not.
Hello, sorry.
I think...
Sorry, I kind of like, I went offline. I don't know why. Okay. There's something wrong with my internet.
I was saying, Pablo, that I think that we must keep our original path from global intelligence to local action. No, I think that's the point. No, and I was thinking it's a way to, I don't know, is overcome the conflict between modernity and post-modernity and international and vernacular. No, it's a way to trespass that conflict. And so I think that that idea is good, no? From bringing local intelligence to local action. Of course, I agree that that engagement with local people. But I don't know, I was thinking now, no, trying to imagine that event, and really, I think it's more than a challenge. If it's in the case that we propose a global workshop, we need people coming to Oslo. No, if not, it doesn't make sense. And I think
that's what I mean. And how do we get funding for that? And do people pay their?
Don't worry about the funding, please. I think they have too much money. We can even share some of this huge amount of money that they give to us. Don't worry about the funding, because for the last Biennale they even got some extra funding from the Graham Foundation, which is like, I mean, it is already a lot. Don't worry about the funding. Come on, they are living on oil money. Don't worry. It's not Turkey or Spain. They have all the money.
Not even together, Turkey and Spain. But it's not only I agree, but it's not only about money. No, it's people. You need people coming from enough worldwide to consider that you have a global workshop, a global.
I think we should not separate what is global, what is local. In a way, everything is, I mean, in Civic-wise, everything is global in a way. So everything is kind of like at the same time looking at the local scale and at the same time look at a global scale. So I think it's good that this workshop can be at the same time kind of like local knowledge, so knowing local knowledge, and also kind of like having global intelligence. So I think it's good to have these things. I mean, in a way, it can work as a global camp.
Yes.
I mean,
it's also what I proposed, because
with more money than a global camp.
But of course, I think that's the idea, and it's really strong. I feel it, not because we are not inventing each time a different. We are more consistent, no? Is the idea, no? The background.
We know how to do,
exactly.
Which is a strong thing, I think, for them also.
Sorry.
It is something that we know how to do, so it is kind of a strong point for us.
We have experience doing it.
Experience, not by just like.
I mean, there's a few things that we have to make sure we make clear in our proposal when we describe our profile and everything, is that we have organized how many? Three local camps. I said 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And in each of the 3, there's people from all over the planet that has come, mainly Europe and Latin America, but people from everywhere. And at the same time, this last one, for example, connected to a local project, and Valencias as well. And also, for example, with the book Civic Practices, we got the book has 90 civic projects from all the world, and we also managed to get a crowdfunding campaign. So in a way, we have this power of calling people, and people will come.
And where do you think we need to address this in which document? In the structure of the curatorial team, or in the curatorial proposal?
I think in both. I think in both, because I think it's part of the, because the curatorial team, I think, would have kind of like it says CV of the collective in a way, first a CV of Civic-wise, and then kind of like saying these strengths of kind of like having the ability to call a lot of people. I mean, because what you were saying is that we need people. Actually, if we do like in a global camp where we normally have around 30 people from different places, I mean, that'll be 30 people is a quite decent workshop in a way. And if we have 30 people from Civic-wise, like another extra people that join from different places in the world, plus local people, that we can end up with a workshop of 50 or 60 people. It's quite a lot.
Yes. Okay.
What do you think, Luis and Julia?
No, I love it. Only maybe I think in small, and I'm thinking that it's hard to get it. That tough for different reasons. No, okay, it's not the money, but it's the organization, it's the call. But really, I'm sincere. Maybe I'm thinking small, no, and I'm not being able to.
I mean, the things that we've done it before with no money. Because local camps have no the book had no budget. It was also a crowdfund. I mean, everything we've done is in a way crowdfunding. Local camp in a way is also crowdfunding because people just put for the breakfast, for the stuff. So, yeah, we could. I think it's good, but I will have it not just as a global event, but as a local event. So that brings kind of like people from different places and connects with local people.
And I was thinking that it was the idea for the final big human live workshop, no? And now we have two, no? And we are proposing two because the final show, we were thinking that it should be a local camp, no? And now we have two. And
I think that the final show, the Biennale, should be a Biennale in a way, because people would go and would expect to see things. So in a way, when people come to the Biennale, they should see more or less they should see end products. I mean, products they still are an open process, but they should see products. So people that come to Biennale shouldn't come and see us say, okay, we're working and thinking about this. I mean, no, we should have an end product already.
Yeah, that's mandatory. We need an exhibition. We need a performance or whatever outdoors. We need an academy program. We need that's mandatory. So the exhibition must be there. But I understand that we are proposing another product, a live workshop, no, telling people, and it was our difference, no, that nowadays we must decide or work issues together and mixing. So offer that show to the people, not people going to Triennale, seeing that participating in that way of working, no?
Yeah.
So, but that's another. It's another part of the final product. Exhibition must be there. That's another, and we must decide now and to tell in our proposal what are we thinking about. No, and we are hanging panels about what, no, those issues that we are saying are central nowadays and changing everything, even architectural action. No, it's about participation. It's about open knowledge. It's about connectivity. It's about I don't know, whatever. No, artificial intelligence. It's about I don't know, but probably coming from that call. No, not deciding as.
Yeah, no, I think it should be in a way. This could be something similar to what they did in the. You remember in the Paris. It's called the We Share Festival. That they have the talks, and then they have in a small pots. They have little workshops on collective intelligence, on things like that. So we have a few workshops as part of the activities.
I am trying to also think. I mean, it's kind of a make it more performative, the Triennale itself. I mean, I agree with you that we need to have some specific projects that we show there and kind of trying to make all these discussions into architecture. But also we can, I don't know how, but we can also ask all these teams to see it kind of like an open process, which they can update, upgrade, transform maybe during the Triennale with the feedbacks they get from the visitors also. So we can kind of implement, I don't know, a kind of direct feedback mechanism to the works that are represented there. Because the problem with the Triennale, we also talked just a bit with Dome that if we are going to do something like this, can we kind of make it more sustainable and try to make it like a Triennale legacy that we further and further in time, so we keep working on this topic. It's kind of using it as a kind, I don't know, like a tool or execution. So, I mean, we can also hack this understanding of the Triennale by trying to implement some direct feedback mechanisms into the projects that are shown there.
Definitely, yeah. So in a way, it's proposing people. So the architects should design, should produce open design. So design that can be continued and upgraded during the Triennale. That's definitely what we need to do. Yeah, I agree.
Luis, shall I do a kind of a small summary for you, what I told?
Yes, please, but I was sorry.
No, don't worry. Kind of trying to, because every time in the exhibitions you go there and see an kind of an end product. So can we turn this into a kind of an open process where we can also implement some direct feedback mechanisms? Like you see a work, I mean, you do not change it on the maquette or something, no, but you kind of directly give feedbacks to its designers or architects. And then we can take it as a kind of an ongoing process, like making it, even after the Triennale is finished, people can keep on working on it and see if it changes in time and it gets better and better through participation and so on.
Yep.
Yes, I am a bit afraid that about our minds. Really, I think they are dangerous and it's a risky business. But really, I don't know. Maybe I have my small Saturday, and but really thinking that it's itself a challenge to accomplish
but we have
the contract. What we sorry.
The architects that have experimented with it, it's a matter of directing the call, although it's an open call, directing the course to architects that we may know that might be able to accomplish those kind of projects. I don't know. I imagine, for example, people like people like Andrés Jaque or Enorme Studio. They've been able to produce these kind of projects where you can still add some stuff, where there's some kind of interaction. So we can make sure that there will be, let's say, a quality for a Triennale of Architecture, and at the same time an open process where the designs can continue. So I think we can. I think that it's feasible. Always having both things in mind, that we need to produce a show, and that we want to produce an open process. I think it's. It's a real challenge, but it's. Let's propose it.
Yes, I'm thinking that what we are offering, and even thinking afterwards, in future for us, to our product to sell everywhere. What we are proposing is a methodology, a process, and I think that's should be the main idea, and then all that you are saying, and I love I love it. But I think in that frame, no, be confident with that product. No, we are offering another way, and I was listing slogans is another task that we have. We need that powerful slogan. And I was playing with local, no, local manners, local ways, local action, local, no, and because it's powerful, it's connected with our proposal, because it's something that we are feeding, no, that we are using it, so different reasons, no? And to go deeper in that idea, no, local whatever manners, and then uh, global intelligence for local action, no, the complete slogan. And in that frame, everything inside, no. And I am a bit afraid with those open doors and energy going out.
I mean,
No?
when we are talking about this, I always think that we can use all this triennale process as a kind of, because what you said in the 2 or 3 hangouts before, that now we are a new society playing with the old rules. So think of a kind of a global community where everyone is thinking of finding some new rules and new spaces for this new society. I think it's a very powerful thing, and of course it has to go beyond the idea of the triennale. I mean, even though we don't facilitate anything, if you put like 50 people thinking about this idea into same room for 1 week, something will come out of it eventually. I mean, think about me. I knew none of you, and I was there for 40 days, and now we are much more connected than people I've been knowing for many years, because we are thinking over and over every day about the same issues. So I think even though we say we don't make any dreams out of this, something will come out of it anyhow.
No, but of course, sorry.
No, I just wanted to that I was thinking while you were talking about a possible word to use instead of rules. I don't know if it's in the title or just somewhere else, which will be codes. So in a way, a rule and a code is something very similar, but a code is something that is kind of like in the root, and it also has to do with kind of like network and programming and everything. And there's kind of like a code of contact, a code of conduct, like a I don't know. Code could be. I just left it in the just so I don't forget it. I left it in the page, and we can see if we use it either in the title or either in the text. Kind of like new code for a new society, or I don't know.
I always see code as a much more structured way of the rule. It is kind of how you implement rules, right? I find it more actually strict. I'm not sure about it. And yeah, I also don't know the best one, but code, I think it is much more. It gives you the. I mean, if you do this, then you will be punished. It is more strict, I think, code.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I like acts. Acts is just like when you have this bigger framework. I think they use acts, like the Human Rights Act and so on.
Yeah, here in the UK, every planning law that they put out, they call it Act. The Localism Act, the Housing Act, everything is in that.
But is it the bigger one, or is it?
Yeah, it's national. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the national laws that last for years, and they keep being updated. Normally, there's a few of them, like Housing Act, Localism Act.
Okay. What do you think about that? Do you also see it is too strict?
Normally, they're very because they're just put kind of like the general framework, and then you need a specific planning frameworks to be more specific. So normally first come the act. For example, in 2011 they did the Localism Act, and then which included neighborhood planning, and then in 2012 they published the specific one on neighborhood planning.
Yeah, the problem with all these is that we come again to the same discussion about the global and the local, because if you say like acts, rules, or codes, it is so kind of global and kind of strict. So yeah, okay. We will find a word, I hope. I'm not sure also. I mean, in civic-wise, we use protocols for this kind of thing, but
maybe too restrictive as well, right? Protocol is kind of like, looks like in royalty or something like that. Let me just grab the cable because I'm running out of battery.
I say, well, first of all, I wanted to try again to be clear that I agree with everything that you are saying. What you said, Julia. It's only about that details. Maybe it's not so important now. No, and so of course the final performance is a workshop. It's a workshop. Is something collective with participation, and only maybe I was being more conservative, no, maybe, and proposing a closed product. No? Okay, it's a workshop, but for us is the final in this triennale. No, we are proposing a process, a methodology. We show we do everything, no, in this triennale. So since 2018 to autumn 2019, but it's a kind of a closed product, no. So after the last day is a day of like local Canva restitution day. Is of course you can continue. It's the day after, no, but our work is to give a closed process, no, workshops and final day of restitution with I don't know, manifestos or no manifestos with proposals, no, okay, the results of tables, no, of workshops, and related with rules, codes, acts. I don't know. I was thinking more, and I was proposing those manners, ways, processes. I don't know. I really.
Yeah, manner might be interesting. Manner, because the manners, they have this human thing in it, which I like. It's just like how you behave. I don't know. We can new urban manners. We can go for this. I like manners.
No, well, I'm not sure, and my English is not so good, so I need dictionary every time. And but I was looking for that connection. That it's great that you understood. No, it's not only about an structure. It's not the rules. It's not something written, and it's a way of confront
and behaving.
Yes, this situation. We are all inside of this new environment. Things happening everywhere. No, it's not a coincidence. It's because it's in the love is in the air.
Pablo, what do you think about manners? Your mic is muted. Pablo, unmute your mic first.
Pablo, your microphone. No, okay. No.
Yeah. No.
Yes,
No. Sorry.
you got it.
I couldn't find the. I had many windows open and I couldn't find this one. No, I was looking at manners. That it has a lot of meanings. I mean, good manners is when you kind of like behave well towards people. Kind of like. Like it's kind of like a very old-fashioned thing as well. Like when someone has good manners, something that your grandma will tell you that you should have good manners.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be good.
It has this like very nice human thing to it. I like it.
Yeah.
And it is kind of because the manners come from bottom up. It is not defined by the.
Yeah, it's kind of like yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a rule that comes from the traditional knowledge.
Yeah, also it's like more interpersonal and
yeah.
So we found the title.
Well,
New urban manners.
We have a lot of days to decide.
No, we don't. No, I know, because this. I mean, even this writing thing goes like forever. Can we do a kind of
joke? It's a joke, Julia. Sorry, that we have few days and we are deciding everything. So going back, finally, we are thinking about. We propose 2 local camps or 1
No, the global camp is the one before. I think the one for the Triennale is more performative, because a global camp is more a process that is kind of like a very raw process that is kind of like, let's say that if nothing is produced at the end, no matter just the titles, it's okay. So in a way, it's very, a global camp doesn't have the pressure to bring out I mean, just need to bring out an open call. I mean, we don't need to call it a global camp, or do we? We could. I don't know.
You mean the workshop sessions?
Yeah, and
we can say that it is like our global camp, because we can also formulate it as with the global camp, just like when you can be flexible in joining the groups and so on. So we can use our already existing methodology for it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second
and then we get the kind of like, I don't know, a kind of a framework where they define these new urban manners, how how this new society can live. I mean, they can be more on like, I don't know, about the digital world. It can be more about the care system, how the old people will live with the young ones. I don't know. It can be many things. And we get these kind of project briefs, like you have in a kind of, and when you enter an architecture competition, you have this project brief. So we will make these project briefs and connect it with the local spaces in Oslo, and then ask for solid architecture projects. How would that
sorry, I found the website urbanmanners.com. It's very funny. It's called Urban Manners. Please stop being such a jerk. I'll put it here. It's kind of like how to kind of like respect other people and not being a jerk. It's very funny. How can I put it here?
Okay.
Just have a look. It's very funny.
Okay, someone took the time for this manifesto. Nice.
It's example ways to be a better person. Stay within the lines of your parking space. Wash your hands after using the restroom. Hold the door open for the person behind you. Learn how a four-way stop works. Don't block the entire aisle at the grocery store. Okay, but it's funny because I mean, this is kind of like very kind of like basic, but it can link to
Yes, that, no, I can't add anything because really I don't know the nuance of, of the word. No, maybe everybody understand this word in that way. No, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's yeah. I mean,
Really,
manners.
I like it.
Manners in a way is to behave, how you are kind. So it's about uh, this kind of know what you want to order before you get to the counter. Put down your goddamn cell phone when in a conversation. Stop your car for pedestrians at crosswalk. Give your seat on the train to an old lady. Choose a non-obvious a non-obscene ringtone. Don't give your bark purse coats in your own seat. Treat your waiter with respect. Don't take a baby camping. I take my baby camping. Lower your voice. Be kind to animals. Don't interrupt others. Learn how to use a turn signal. It's funny. Well, the first one. In this modern world, we urban dwellers are usually divided into two categories. One, those who are clean, kind, cautious, and aware of our surroundings and the feelings of our neighbors. Two, those who are selfish assholes, completely devoid of consideration of the well-being of others. It's funny. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, let's continue. Sorry, I got excited by
no,
the
no,
words.
no, but it was very interesting, Pablo. Really, and I think that we must take it. No, no.
Yeah, I mean,
Before this
there's
time,
people
no.
who has defined it, but it's more like a way of don't do. I mean, don't be selfish and be aware that you have people around and don't annoy people around you. In a very kind of like NIMBY way, but we propose a different thing. But it's funny that I could have this definition,
Yeah, but of
and it can
course,
be attractive. It can be attractive to architects as well. That they like this kind of like stupid things, this kind of like.
Yeah.
but my concern is if everybody understand this word in the same way, no? And
Well, it's what it means. We're giving it a different meaning. Yeah, it's what it means. So it can be easily misinterpreted. But if we're doing it, we have to know that it's going to be interpreted in this way.
maybe with Julia is enjoying a lot the proposed one, manners.
Yeah, I like it because it is too. It is. I think it is much more better than rules and all this stuff.
And it's
From the community itself, it's kind of a.
It's bottom up, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's bottom up because it's not. If we're saying rules, act, it means that there's still something above us that is ruling the society. What we're talking about is not. There's not. It's actually the connected intelligence that is ruling the society right now. I mean, that's what the Arab Spring and all this stuff did. It's kind of like things from the bottom up. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And for instance, local manners, playing with the word and the slogan, local manners make sense?
I don't know. I don't think no one has used it before. But
of course, it's a game, you know. Jeu de mots, kind of. But,
I wouldn't go for two terminology at the same time in the title. Let's keep it simple. Yeah. I like these new urban manners because it is very much easily understandable. And because if you say local, then it is another terminology. I can say a manner is already local because there's this whole world and there's your daily life. So the idea of manners, you can say that it is already local in itself. And let's not, I wouldn't go for local in the title, actually.
Okay. Okay. So, who was telling the process? No, I lost the final because I think you found this website before. No, you were telling me the difference between the what we are calling local camp, no, the first event and the final one.
Yeah, during this camp and a bit afterwards, there will be kind of a restitution, and they will come with this project brief where we will use it as project course to get like architectural projects that we will show in the exhibition. So it's kind of the process is more kind of open, and then we call for projects, and then we select a group of projects, I don't know, 40, 50. Then after that, because we are going to be connecting these projects with some locations, maybe all of them might be in Oslo, or we can also make it more diverse. I don't know, we can discuss it. And then people who did these projects, they will kind of do a public program where they present their work. So it's kind of what we call prototyping. So then they will get feedback from the community while they're presenting their project, and then they will kind of upgrade it for the final submission for the work in the Triennale. That was my idea. I mean, kind of a way to connect the architects to the people in the local spaces.
I can't understand the idea of projects. They should be already made projects, finished
from the
projects.
Camp, a group comes out like saying that we have this, we need a new digital tool that will be doing this and this and this. And then I say that in the Oslo Opera House, the roof of the Oslo Opera House, just think of it as can we apply this idea of this tool into that space? And then we will ask for projects coming from mostly architectural offices and maybe more interdisciplinary teams. Then we will say, yes, we select this project. We select the project of Luis to show in the Biennale. And then we do a kind of a presentation, lecture, maybe with talking with the municipality of Oslo and so on, where we invite in citizens that comment on your project. You talk about the conditions, you talk about your project, and then you kind of get a feedback. If you think that it is necessary, you update it, and then we show it in the exhibition. And so when the exhibition is open, people in Oslo, they already have kind of, in a way, participated in this kind of Triennale thing. This is the most, I think this is more the local part of the Triennale.
I think it's a good. I think it's a good idea. So when the Triennale, when is it exactly? So this will be everything in 2018, and when is exactly the Triennale?
It should be in the other one was in September.
Mm-hmm. They say autumn.
Okay, so September.
So we get everything ready in 2018.
We can stretch the deadlines. This is just like.
I think we can start a bit later because we start since January. I think we may need to start a bit later because while we know that we have win and everything, and we kind of like start doing kind of like a real plan. I think maybe and then stretch it a little bit. I think I would try to stretch it. I have to go now because this guy needs to have lunch. But I'll
I'll keep an eye on the Slack and on the Google Doc. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Pablo.
See ya. Bye.
Ciao. Luis, what do you think about this progress plan?
I confess that I'm a bit lost, but